Eastern Illinois head coach Chris Wilkerson, the team coming off a loss against FBS foe Illinois this past week. This week they're back to the FCS ranks. They're going to take on Indiana State, a team they also played last year, a longtime rival for the program. So, Coach, just some thoughts on your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Certainly, extremely tough opener. Didn't play very well. Certainly not going to beat anybody or be competitive if we're going to be -4 in the turnover battle. It was a very talented, well-coached Big Ten operation, and so Coach Bielema and his staff did a phenomenal job. Tip of the hat to them. There were some positive things. The guys did play hard. We were pretty assignment competent, and we were able to keep our quarterback upright a little more this week. So that's good. We can build on that. But hey. We are on to the border war with Indiana State and a chance to play at home this weekend, and really excited about getting back to work.
All right, Coach, we'll go to some questions. Dan, we'll just let you go, and as many as you got, fire away.
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Since you just talked about the home opener, you've been there as a player, you've been there as an assistant coach. Now, obviously, you've been there as a head coach. Just how do you feel about, opening at home, whether it's the first game of the season or in this case, the second one?
Excited. I'm excited for our players. That this community loves football and has really rallied around us. They've been extremely supportive. Our guys have been very diligent in getting out in the community and establishing relationships and connection. And we're excited about a chance to play at home against a very well-coached team from Indiana State. I know Coach Mallory does a phenomenal job, he and his staff. And so I think it's just, again, for us, it's a chance to get back on the field and try to eliminate that taste that we had in our mouth from Thursday night. And certainly to restart, I guess, if you will, the season.
Since you've had a number of days to kind of, look at the tape and go over things, is there anything that has jumped out at you that maybe you didn't see Thursday or even Friday?
No, it was pretty much what we saw. Again, the turnovers were the toughest thing. They didn't really give us a chance. Two drives and scoring opportunities or scoring territory that end with nothing. Putting our defense out there on a short field. We did have a couple special teams kind of first game things logistically that came up. We had a substitution issue. We asked a kid to fair catch a ball. There was some miscommunication there. Offensively, we had to start inside the 10-yard line twice for our drives. So, for the average starting field position for the game, because of the turnovers and some of the penalties, we were at the 35-yard line, or they were at the 35-yard line, and we were at the, minus 19-yard line. So it was a first down and a half, almost 20 yards in hidden field position. Just some things we've got to continue to clean up. Again, I was really proud of the kids' effort. There was no quit, and our execution level was good. And like I said, I thought our offensive front did a really good job getting a body on a body and staying attached. And we've got to continue to do that and continue to improve during the course of the season. But pretty much what we thought we saw on the in-person we've seen on the tape.
Any particular emphasis this week in practice, or is it kind of business as usual?
No, hey, it's about improvement. I have said every single year that your biggest improvement and your biggest growth as a football team is typically year to year from week 1 to week 2. For a lot of the reasons that I just mentioned, it's the very first time that we've covered kicks live. Having to cover all 53 1/3 yards of width and the entire field. There are some guys that played their very first college football snaps on Thursday night. There are some guys that played their very first college football snaps in an EIU uniform with this team. And it was certainly the first time that this team has been assembled with 3 new coordinators and the additional technology and some of the other things that are going on. So there will be a lot of growth, but it's really, really, really about improvement this week in every single thing that we do and making sure that we continue to prepare the best that we can for Saturday night at 6:02.
Thursday after the game, you said health-wise, it looked pretty good coming out of the game. Is that pretty much hold true?
It is. We have some bumps and bruises. Got some good news this morning on one. We were waiting on a CAT scan and it was negative. So right now it appears that everybody will still be available. But we're still waiting on one more follow up with the physician, but it appears that we're in a pretty good situation.
And I got one more, and then I'll let Kyle jump in. Have you made a decision on a kicker yet?
We have. Drew Schiller will do our place kicking, and unfortunately, we didn't give him that opportunity to attempt a field goal or a point after touchdown on Thursday. And then Julian Patino has been our kickoff guy, and he did get to kick off the one time on Thursday night. So those two have been battling the entire fall camp. Coach Brady and myself have continued to watch and evaluate, and they've done a really good job competing. But right now, we'll go with Drew come Saturday night.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, we've already alluded to it about, playing rivals too, but your schedule always You got Illinois State later, Indiana State. Just talk about playing those teams that are close proximity that you have long histories with, and just how that's important to your schedule and for your fans and Indiana State's fans.
Oh, absolutely. Especially Indiana State. I'm a Hoosier myself, born and raised in Indianapolis. And most of the guys that graduated from my high school, if they played FCS football, they played for the Sycamores. And when I was recruited, I just felt like EIU was the right fit for me. And obviously it was the best decision that I've ever made. So anyway, always played against them in college, always coached against them when I was here the last time, and certainly having come back, had a chance to coach against them every single year. But it is kind of the border war, if you will. There's about 45 minutes between the two schools, 37 miles, something like that. Again, I know Coach Mallory does a phenomenal job with his team. Their quarterback is extremely athletic. He's only a redshirt freshman, but he's been elected one of their captains. Their offensive line is long and very well coached. Again, they're big at the tight end position. They've got great length at receiver, and their tailbacks play really, really, really hard. On defense, they are a very senior heavy operation, especially in the front six. Their front four do a phenomenal job. They're very physical and violent. Their two linebackers, between the two of them, their two box linebackers are extremely active, really, really tough. I think between the two of them, they started 45 college games already. And then their secondary does a really good job communicating. They're always, always, always on the same page. And then they've got a new special teams coordinator this year. He come from the University of North Dakota. The guys have played extremely hard. And they look very, very sound and well coached in the kicking game. So we're going to have our hands full. They've improved a ton. And, we understand, again, it is a rivalry game. And we are just excited about the opportunity, again, to play at home and improve this week.
And they played Purdue, right? And they lost 49-0. So the same things you probably said about yourself sort of applied to them too, right? They may not know everything they have to do. So you got two teams who played Big Ten teams last week who are now playing each other this week.
Yes, no question. I would assume that, they're talking about, hey, now we get on to our season, and get a chance to play for them, a regional rival FCS opponent. And again, for us, the other thing that we talk about a ton is obviously representing our conference and the Big South-OVC, and trying to earn some more respect for our league. I know the Missouri Valley Football Conference is a very well recognized conference, but we've got a chance again to represent our conference against a talented Missouri Valley football team and try to put our best foot forward on Saturday night.
Dan, you got anything else? Are you good?
Nope, I'm good. I appreciate both of your time.
Yeah, Coach, appreciate you this morning, and best of luck this weekend to your team, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a million. Go Panthers.